Hey folks, welcome back to our Dice Tower preview. I'm Mark, and today we're taking a look at PopCats Fighter. PopCats Fighter is brought to you by NinjaBot. It plays 2 to 4 players, ages 13 and up, and game time ranges 20 to 90 minutes. So let's unleash the fury as we take on the role of one of 8 PopCat fighters in a 1 versus 1 cat fight. PopCats Fighter is truly a 1 versus 1 type of game. However, there is a 2-on-2 versus mode, which is pretty slick. However, we're going to mostly look at the 1 versus 1. And really, this game boils down to bringing that old arcade experience to the table in those fighting games. You've even got sliding health bars. So let's take a closer look. To start, each player will choose a PopCat fighter to bring into the arena. These PopCat fighters all have 3 basic cards. You have your character card, you have your super move, and your mega move. The character cards, they all have special abilities and things they do in the battle. However, every time you play, you will receive a power-up card, and these are randomly distributed. So every time you use a character, you could have some different abilities each time you play, keeping it variable and fresh. Then you and your opponent will set up your PopCat fighter in your play area in the arena. First, let's take a look at this really cool slider bar for your health. It's pretty neat. You start at 27, ending at 0. Ending at 0 will obviously lose you the game. But along the way, you have 9 lives, so that's pretty cool. And it really has that video game feel of a health slider across the top or bottom of the game. And then you have your main character cards. And you're going to put your main character card off to the left along with its power up. Your main special ability or special move cards will go in the middle. And then you have this metered storage area. And the metered storage area is how you will power up your super move and mega move cards. And then there's this really slick little handy reference card. Really, I'm only mentioning it because it's one of the best reference cards I've seen in a while. You can really actually just play the game from this card. And then you'll finish setting up the arena by placing the red corner, blue corner card in the middle of the table, which tracks your wins. And then there are your generic cards that you'll be using to battle with throughout the game. These cards, initially you're going to give 8 to each player, and you'll set off a common discard spot off to the side as well. And these cards are going to range greatly from what they do. There's defense cards and attack cards, and there's cards that augment attacks as you move forward and battle in the game. So gameplay is very straightforward and turns move really fast as you battle against each other. And really, that's what you want in a battle game, right? You want cards back and forth, back and forth. And what happens here is that you as the attacker, you have 4 attack actions, and the defender then has 4 defense actions. And it just goes back and forth like that. Now, there is a response action to some of the attacks. You might have a counter attack that can do some things as well. But everything is straightforward. All the cards explain what they do and what their powers are. Now, on your attack actions, you're going to be playing attack cards and possibly augmenting them to do more damage. However, you don't have to do straight up attacks all the time. You can go back to the deck and draw 2 cards. However, you do have a hand limit of 12 cards, so you got to keep that in mind as well. Also, you can burn cards, and this is very important because you might need to strategically do that. Either thin out your hand and power up your metered storage area, because the metered storage area, when that gets powered up, that's what allows you to activate your super move and your mega move. And you have to burn power in order to activate those special abilities. Then the defender gets his or her 4 actions as well, and they will be defending against all your attacks, trying to stave them off, either doing full or partial blocks to the damage coming in. However, they do have the ability to go pull cards as well and burn actions that way, and also burn cards in order to power up that meter again. Now, these cards that you're going to be using throughout the game to battle and defend with have icons, which are very straightforward, so each card is very clear on what it does. You have hit cards, you have defense cards, you have move enhancer cards, and you have directional cards. These directional cards and move enhancer cards can just augment your attacks and defense. So each of these cards have real clear text on the bottom explaining exactly how they work. And then you have instant cards. These instant cards are variable and do many different things. And again, all the text at the bottom is very clear on how they work. Also important to note that these instant cards cannot be used to power up your metered area. All right, let's take a look at what a sample attack and defense might look like. I'm going to pull out Claws and attack with that right away, which gives me 4 damage. And then I'm going to add a directional movement card to it. This gives me additional 3, so I'm doing 7 points of damage to my opponent, which this here counts as 1 attack action. Now my opponent can choose to play some different types of defense. They can do a counter attack, but let's say they just want to block all this damage. They're going to use the special move block. However, this one does not have to be used strictly for a special move. It has, again, text that's very clear. All of these cards do. It says avoid damage from a special move or any 1 attack move. Draw 2 cards at the end of your turn. So this card in itself successfully blocks this attack. Now let's say the defense player did not have this powerful block card. Instead, they have Kitten Block. Kitten Block reduces damage by 3 hits. However, it cannot block moves with throw cards. And throw cards are a different type of attack. Again, this card, the Kitten Block, cannot deal with. So you have to be mindful again about what defenses you're playing and which one is better to offset the damage from. Now, what's important here is that this particular combo is the fact that both the defense and the attack were partially successful. So anytime you have a full-on successful attack or defense or a partial one, those cards then get moved or discarded to your metered storage area. And again, the metered storage area is what you're going to use to power up those special attack abilities like Super Move and Mega Move. So for instance, if we discard 6 cards from the metered storage area and drop the power level down, then I could attack with my Super Move, in this instance, doing 4 points of damage, and this reward gets an extra action this turn. So I could do 5 attack actions if I powered up this card and used it. However, if the defense player still had that powerful card in the hand, they could have saved it for special move block. They could have blocked that entire special move. So again, there's a lot of cards that go back and forth and push and pull in this game, and you really have to strategically figure out which cards to play when. And again, all these cards are very clear about how they activate, and what they do at the bottom of the card will outline and make it easy for you to understand what their actions are. So every time you take damage like that, you're going to be reducing damage on your health meter with this handy little slider, again giving you that video game feel on the desktop. So play will continue very much this way, back and forth. 4 actions to attack, 4 actions to defend, and even some response actions where you might have a counter as a defender doing damage to the attacker. So there's a lot of cards with a lot of different abilities and really some neat ways to put them together. Also, these cards are very thematic to a cat battle because again, you've got like dash and claws, you've got things like throw, and you've got pounce. So just a lot of different ways to engage in this game and to make those attacks and combos work really nicely. All right, folks, just a reminder once again, this has been a Dice Tower paid preview, and everything you've seen here has been in prototype form. So keep a close eye on the campaign for any changes that still may occur. Now I gotta point out the box, because they've really made the storage solution for this look like an old school arcade machine. You've got the controller and the slots and so forth, the screen as you open it up. I thought that was pretty neat. And then the artwork is very nice in this game, as well as having tons of different characters with lots of different abilities and how they combine to really change up the battle each time. So if this looks like a game that would be of interest to you, I'm sure they would appreciate your support. I think that's it for me, and until next time, folks, we'll see you at the table.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.